The repetition trick I'll be explaining in this video is quite different from the ones that you know. I've used this since when I was in school and it has really helped me. And in fact, throughout the periods I've coached several students, I've actually proposed it to them and they've been seeing good results from this particular trick. 99% of students repeat what they study in a wrong way. And because of this, you feel like whatever technique you're applying is not working, but it's because you are not applying it the right way. The repetition trick that I'll be teaching you in this video is what we call Abian learning. The Abian learning states that neurons that fire together wire together. What exactly is neurons and how can neurons actually help you to remember whatever you study? Before I go into that, let's first clarify everything about repetition and how exactly you can use it the right way. And I'm going to be exposing to you more about repetition, how you are applying it the wrong way, and how you can actually apply it the right way. Now, repetition is part of my learning framework, which I call CAT, because C stands for concentration, A stands for association, R stands for repetition, and T stands for testing. So in my previous videos, I've actually gone deeper into how association can help you, how testing can help you. But in this video, I'm going to be going further by explaining the repetition, how repetition can actually help you and how you can use it the right way by using the Abian learning, by focusing on this particular neuroscience concept. After this video, you can go ahead and watch what I explained about association and testing, because this is a learning framework, and if you do not use everything in this learning framework, if you concentrate without associating, there is no how you'll be able to learn. If you associate without repeating, what you learn will not work. And if you repeat without testing, in fact, the whole learning process and how you study will not actually work. So this is a framework, but then I've explained everything into details, but I'll be explaining repetition into details by using the trick that I'll be showing you in this video. In order for you to learn successfully, there are 3 stages that is very important. We have the encoding stage, we have the retaining stage, and we have the retrieval stage. Now, the fact that encoding helps in memory processing, that is making sure that whatever you learn gets into your brain. Retaining helps retain the information by using several techniques, which I've explained in my previous video. And retrieval also works by confirming that whatever technique that you've learned can be solidified. Now, the repetition is corresponding to this particular stage, which is retaining. Repetition helps you to retain the information. That is, it cements learning. So in this different stage that your brain gets in information, if you encode, and retaining information is corresponding to repetition, and if you don't do that quite well, the whole learning will collapse. So that is why I've exposed to you the importance of repetition from my learning framework, and I've gone through what cognitive science have actually talked about, how the stages of learning. So that's why repetition is very important. But how exactly can you apply repetition the right way instead of the wrong way you've actually known? Because students, when we say repetition, what comes to their mind is cramming and memorizing. memorization. Now, repetition is not cramming and is not memorizing, because there are ways you can do it. It's not about rote learning. It's not about rote learning. Now, what do I mean by repetition cements learning? Now, going back to what I said about the Abian learning, that is neurons that wire together. Now, neurons are cells, different cells in your neurocortex. In the brain, we have neurocortex, which is the central of your brain. This part of your brain is your neurocortex. And in the neurocortex, we have different hemispheres. Now, in the neurocortex, there are neurons, and these neurons consist of everything that you've learned. And each time you learn something, you establish a neuron based on what you've learned in the past. So, in order for example, we have a neuron here based on what you've learned in the past, and you are trying to establish a new neuron that is connecting it. It is repetition that cements the connection that exists between this neuron in your neurocortex. So it is repetition that cements it. Without repetition, it will fade away, because if you encode information quite well, you do everything, but if you do not repeat, but you associate everything, but if you do not repeat, there is no how long-term memory can be achieved. And that is why repetition is very important. There are techniques that you need to apply. And when you apply these techniques, it will actually help you to navigate your way very well in order for any information you are learning to be solidified in your brain through the repetition trick that I'll be explaining. Now, the first thing I'm going to be explaining is spaced repetition. From the word spaced, it is not an initial form of repetition, it is spaced. Now, this is where most students make mistake. Now, if you repeat what you've learned when your exam is in 2 days and you employ the repetition trick, it will not work, because it is cramming. And when you repeat at first instance, for example, in initial learning, initial exposure, to an information, that memory is in the short-term memory. Short-term memory. And the connection in that is very fragile. Fragile connection. There's a fragile connection when you first learn something initially. And now, when your exam is now in 2 days or in 3 days, the connection is still fragile. It is not solidified yet, and it will prune apart. Now, in order for it to be connected, you need to expose yourself to the information. Second, this is the initial exposure. You need to expose yourself to this first day. You need to expose yourself second day and the third day and the seventh day. So the more you go along this exposure, it goes to the long-term memory, and the connection becomes stronger. So it goes from fragile, from the initial exposure, to stronger the more you expose yourself to the information over time. So this is day 1. This is the first day. This is the second day. And this is the third day. So you keep going like that. So the more you go on, the more you expose yourself to the information over time, the more the information gets solidified. So now, if your exam is tomorrow now, let's say this day is your exam day, and you are just reading this first day, there are tendencies that you've not actually make the connection stronger at this point in time because it's still fragile. And because of that, there are tendencies that it will prune apart, it will fade away. So nerve cells, let's go back to the statement. Neurons that fire together. Now, the neurons are things that you've established when you are learning, the initial exposure. So the more this fire together means the more you expose yourself to the information, the more you keep jamming the connection, fire together, wire together. So this wire together means that the more the connection becomes stronger. So if you do not allow the information to wire together, but it was firing together, you will not be able to establish enough connection for it to be stronger over time. So that is why it is very important. And one thing I want you to understand is that forgetting information is normal. But then if you do not expose yourself to the information, you forget. That is why it is important that even if you understand the information quite well, even if you know everything about the information, if you don't learn it, you will forget it. So that is what this exposure means. So if you apply the spaced repetition, it will actually help you to study for your exams very well in order for you to remember everything. Now, aside from spaced repetition, there is another technique that I want you to apply, which is interleaving. Now, interleaving is about mixing topics and concepts. Now, and this interleaving together with spaced repetition will help you solidify any information you are trying to learn. So take for example the first day you are learning something about algebra. A calculation in algebra. I will not advise you to go the second day and do the same. You can mix it up with something else in day 2 by looking at something in another topic entirely. If you consider to look at another topic, which is polynomial, now you are actually you are making your brain to state the distinctions and similarities between these two topics, and in fact the information becomes stronger because when you establish the connection in the first day of algebra, the second day you are also dealing with something similar but a little bit different. You allow your brain to appreciate the similarity between these two topics and the differences, and the information becomes stronger. But if you keep learning algebra every single day, it becomes boring and you will not be able to engage in more critical thinking. So as far as you want to apply the spaced repetition, also mix it up with different things. You can decide to study the third day. You can start to do another thing that is quite similar to what you are learning the third day. So the more you mix it up, the more you prevent block practice. Block practice is when you repeat something, a particular thing over and over and over again. So I would advise you to apply the mixed practice. Keep exposing yourself to different things over time as you go on in the spaced repetition. Now, another technique you can use to apply spaced repetition that can make you repeat adequately it's similar to interleaving, but in this case, you are not switching topics, you are switching techniques and environments. So now, varied context. Now, in as much as I said you should space your repetition over time, while you are spacing, and as much as you need to switch topics, also switch techniques. Now, varied context has to do with the environment. The environment in which you are learning, the technique, other techniques you are applying in conjunction with spaced repetition. Now, while you are, for example, in day one, the initial exposure, the day one, first day. In the second day, try to teach the information. Now, when the initial exposure, maybe that you study the information, now you can try to teach the information to someone. So when you teach the information, you are not applying the same technique you did the first time, and you are repeating the information in a different context. So it will help you solidify the information. And as you do that, the third day, you can decide to write a summary about what you've learned. Now, when you are writing a summary, you are forcing your brain to record the information without having access to the book. That way, it also solidifies the information in terms of retrieval, aside from retaining the information, which the repetition does. So the fourth day, you can decide to use flashcards. And under flashcards, you can decide to apply the active recall. So active recall is another way you can actually sustain the information, that is retrieving the information. So in this case, you are switching between techniques, and you are also applying the spaced repetition using varied context, aside from the spaced repetition itself. So in essence, spaced repetition cannot stand alone. You have to apply different techniques inside it in order for it to make more sense, and in order for you to solidify the information. So that is that about the varied context. You can check this other video on testing. That is a part of my learning framework, which is CATS, concentration, association, repetition, and testing. I've touched the repetition part. You can check out this other video where I talked about the testing part. So I hope you got so much value from this video. If you did, please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. See you on the next one.